Hello, brothers and sisters. The title of the message today is Returning to the Source of Life. Number one, in the beginning was the Word. Number two, I thought that pastor was truthful. In my theological college days, I received a sermon test. I just quoted various Bible verses continually as they were. I thought it was very truthful and biblically right. Fortunately, that day my professor was not there, so it was okay. To study Bible a lot, or to keep everything in a right way biblically, is not necessarily right. I must confess what I got through the Enlightenment. Jesus said to Nicodemus, "We speak of what we know, and we testify to what we have seen." What does that mean? That we know and that we don't know? What's the difference between what we know and what we don't know? If we talk about history, knowledge, and the Bible, that we are talking about what we don't know. Even one thing, we have to have our own experience. There are smart people and some people have wisdom, but if they have no experience, they really don't understand. I went to America and tasted mango for the first time in my life. It was before Korea imported mangoes. After I returned to Korea, I told brothers about the taste of mango. Nobody understood. I tried to explain using various kinds of ways. It tastes like peaches. It was not correct. It tasted like apples, but it was not correct either. The shape of mango looked like this. It tasted like such and such, but nobody understood it. People think they know, but if they have never seen it, it's difficult to understand. If people think even I have never seen it, but I still understand, it's wrong. If we have never tasted mangoes, we don't know. Moreover, how can people understand about God without any experiences? But there are so many people insist that they know about God through their own concept without any experience. They think they know. That's why they can't cause problems. This is the genealogy of Jesus Christ, who is the descendant of Abraham and David. People interpret according to their personal concept. In the beginning, there was Logos. Greek people interpret individually and personally. That's why God's word and God's work are hidden, secret. God did not intentionally hide them, but as the paths are different, they are hidden. From Seoul to Busan, there is a train route, Gyeongbu Line, and from Seoul to Mokpo, there is a train route, Honam Line, in Korea. The atmosphere of the two lines are so different. Their way of getting seats are totally different. People have different concepts in themselves. So when they listen to other people's story, they interpret their own way. Whatever they listen, they never give up their own concepts. Beggars beg using different kind of containers. Those people who wrote the Bible experienced to a totally different kind of a world. They met totally different people. They walked a totally different paths. They experienced a totally different world. They spread the gospel to other people. We also have to experience a totally different world. Different path. This is not the old path. This is the new path. Only then we can share the gospel all over the world. One day I was waiting for doctor's calling at Roman Catholic Hospital. Old nuns were sitting right next to me. Well, I wanted to talk with them. But one lady made so much noise, I could not take the opportunity. I wanted to say to them, I think you really went through so much hard time in order to become Roman Catholic nuns. Becoming Roman Catholic nun is not an easy matter. To lead life as Roman Catholic nun all through their life is not an easy matter. They check so many things before they become nuns. If they don't know man, they should not know man. They cannot become nuns. Their disciplining life as nuns, as a single girl, all through their life is not easy. One of church brothers, his parents were martyr in Roman Catholic Church. So he was interested in becoming Roman Catholic priest himself. So he entered into the abbey. I could not stop him, and his family members are all Roman Catholic members, but he returned to church again after a while. I asked him, why did you return to our church? He said, they kicked me out. They were checking him so thoroughly. They checked his behavior, his life, way of thinking, and so on. And they got the conclusion, it's difficult for you to become a priest. You'd better go out. You'd better give up. So he returned to Daegu Church again. He was not accepted in the abbey, so he came back to our church. I wanted to say to those nuns, I'm not qualified to become a priest myself, so I became a pastor in a Protestant church. I think you went through so much hardship. And if they would say, yes, it was so hard, then I had something to say them. There is a shortcut. But I could not say anything. If I get another opportunity, I surely say that. They try so hard, they lean so much effort, they have to meditate, pray every day, and go outside and work every day. Abbey is not an easy place to live. There is Benedicto Abbey in Daegu. If a person enters into that abbey, he can never come out. There is a farm inside, and they supply their own food there. They cultivate land as farmers. They work hard. To go to heaven is not an easy job for them. If you read A Pilgrim's Progress by John Bunyan, there are so many obstacles every corner of our life. We have to pass through all those processes, and then we can reach the gate of heaven. That book is describing Christianity of medieval age, but it is the same today. The path which leads us to heaven is rough and tough way. As Adam took the fruit of good and evil and came out of the garden, it's full of thorns and thistles naturally. But what is gospel? Gospel is just like a stone which has flown from heaven. One white stone hit the huge statue of idol. That idol was demolished. Gospel is a straight road and shortcut. Meeting Jesus, that is the gospel. If we are united together with Jesus, all the problems of life will be solved automatically. If you try to solve all the human problems, it's endless. If you are in regular church, you have to take part in visitation program of your church members' houses. Pastor must visit at least one time a week continually. When I was a pastor in a regular church, I was also took part in visitation program, but I had nothing to say. But it was just a courtesy visit. If I don't visit church members' house, they feel upset. That is Korean sentiment. Western countries, they may be different. They have to make a phone call, make a reservation. Maybe they have a different culture and sentiment. In large churches, pastors have a hard time as they have to take part in visitation program. Pastors get the allocation and continually visit their homes. That's why they need many assistant pastors. They waste their energy in useless things, and they cannot use their energy in essential places. We must choose the right path. In the right path, the Bible is interpreted in an easier way. If we cannot choose the path in an appropriate way, we'll get lost all through our life. There are too many paths in the Bible. How can we try all those paths? In such busy modern time, how can we try those complicated paths? If gospel is seen clearly, people don't need to get lost. This is my wish. We don't need to wander around the path of Pilgrim's Progress. There is a simple and easy way. There is the path in which all mankind can be included. That must be God's wish also. Some paths are decent, and that must be God's wish also. Some paths are decent and good paths, but not everyone is welcomed. So many nuns lead difficult life and try to reach heavenly castle, but only special people can reach there. People like me cannot walk that path. Even they may welcome me, but it's sad. Just a few people can go there, and people envy them. There are more people who cannot enter there than who enter there. Therefore, God wishes a path that everyone can enter. Every time we share God's words, easier way, the way which all men can take part in. We must share with as many people as possible. If the gospel can be applied to just the special people, it's not the true gospel. Gospel must make all men can enter into the salvation. That is the true gospel. Apostle John was agonized, how can I spread the gospel where the Logos is controlling people? That's why he wrote the book of John, but the last conclusion was crucify Christ. Those people might have been disappointed because the book of John was started with the fancy words of Logos. If Jesus can save our life, it is just like the martial art novel of China, saving people's life with just small Chinese pills. Gospel is not easy and simple. Gospel is so easy and so simple, but why have I been wandered around? Just meeting Jesus solves everything, but why did I wander around? I was deceived or got lost. We were looking for an answer where there is no answer. Jesus came to the earth, but people rejected him. The light came to the world, but people did not know the light. They did not accept Jesus, but we received him. He's a true light. This is the blessing. If the light comes, all the darkness will be disappeared. All the problems will not become problem any longer. It was problem in the darkness, but when the light comes, there are no problems any longer. When there was no light, they were problems. But when the light comes, there are no longer problems. Those problems disappear all at once, not just one by one. If we compare the time when there was light and when there was no light, we would ask ourselves, when were those problems exist? They will be solved all at once. If that day comes to all mankind, how happy we would be when we welcome the Lord who comes to us riding the cloud up in the air. I have spoken about the book of John many times already. I always felt something was still missing. I felt sorry as I lacked time. When I first got the enlightenment, I got the enlightenment about the epistles of St. Paul. But when we had a retreat at the mountain praying hall, Mount Zuam, I spoke about the book of John. If I compare the time when I spoke about the epistles of Paul and book of John, a new world was opened up before my eyes. That was my experience. Before, I thought four Gospels were not as powerful as Paul's epistles, but now I think differently. There are people who dig the ground and get gold. Other people get gold from the sand. People don't know how much gold they can get. From one bagful of sand, they may get 1 gram of gold or 10 grams of gold. But one day, one man got 1 bushel of gold. What a great and amazing harvest. I said to myself before, I thought 4 Gospels were shabby, but now there are more gold here. 4 Gospels are just talking Jesus, but there were deeper secrets. They are not just history, but they're something deep. I want to check together with brothers, if time allows. I hope brothers and sisters read the book of John more. We cannot get the enlightenment all at once. We can get gold little by little. We should not try to get all the enlightenment, but we'll know roughly, and then next time, more deeper layers. I may speak roughly, but I hope brothers and sisters eat and digest well enough. Thank you. Hallelujah. May God bless every one of you. Thank you again. Thank you.